Moving on from the Man United conversation, I will touch on PSG and Mbappe in a bit, but I wanted to ask you about Chelsea. It looks like they're sticking with Poch. And one of the transfer stories that is doing the rounds today regarding them is that they are prepared to offer Raheem Sterling to Crystal Palace and plus some cash for Michael Olise. When you look at it, looks like they're going to keep Poch. They've started to cook and play some really nice football in the last few weeks. Is a player like Michael Olise who they need to focus on to go to that next level, or should they be looking for more experience, in your opinion, gents?
I actually think Olise suits. Here's the thing. So Olise might not suit them from a position on the pitch perspective, obviously, because of Cole Palmer. But then you could essentially play Cole Palmer in the 10 and have Olise on the right. I think Olise is the exact type of signing that Chelsea need to go for. Someone who's Premier League experienced, someone who's used to this league. I mean, Olise scored, a penalty against Manchester City in like the 90th minute. So this guy, obviously, he has the charisma, he has the, he has the, how they say it, he has the knowledge of the English game. It's not like it'll be the first time for him going to the Etihad or first time going to Anfield or first time going to wherever. He's experienced all of these things. He's been there, done that in the Prem, and I think it will be an actual good signing. And I think if Chelsea make more of these signings, then eventually the reality of this Chelsea situation can finally get exposed. The fact that they have experienced players and they have to do this and do that to improve the squad is exactly why I've been backing Pochettino all year long. Olise is the type of signing that Chelsea need. Those type of players is exactly what Chelsea need. They need the Michael Olises. They need the players that are from the Palaces and the Wolveses and the, whoever, like Nottingham Forest if they get relegated, who are Premier League experienced, who are of players of quality, who are players that could improve generally the squad. Because there are still people in 2024 that really believe it's Poch's fault what's happening at Chelsea. Because I don't feel like they're looking at the entirety of the situation. I think when Stanley Stewart came in, they've effectively made them Brighton 2.0, and you could tell it shows by the quality of the players. Pochettino should win Manager of the Season. Madueke and Mudryk are in 7th place. He should win Manager of the Season. Disasi and Badishile are in 7th place. Give him Manager of the Season. Chilwell, Gallagher, Enzo Fernandez, these crap players are in the 7th place. Give him Manager of the Season. He's got this bunch of crap to this position. So Olise would 100% be exactly what the doctor ordered at Chelsea, but they need more of it. It cannot be just Olise, and that's it. After that, I've seen people post in the chat about some random kid they signed from Brazil. Once again, they haven't learned from their mistakes. Apparently, they've signed this Estevao kid or whatever. They haven't learned from their mistakes.
Never heard of the guy, bro.
Yeah, we've never heard of the guy. Apparently, they paid 30 million or whatever for him. So it just shows me.
I think you're wrong here.
One second. It just shows me that Chelsea aren't learning. You need to learn from your errors. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from what you have done wrong. And this is where Chelsea go wrong as an institution. They simply have not learned from their mistakes. And they need to learn.
But that's Olise, Ammi. That's Olise. He's 22 years old. What's the difference between him and Madueke?
In the words of Jose Mourinho, I'll tell you what the difference is. In the words of Jose Mourinho.
Go ahead, yes.
There is the young and then there is the young. Just because you're young by age does not mean that you're inexperienced.
He isn't an experienced
player. You do have
Premier
League experience for a period of 2 or 3 years.
He has about like 80 games, 60 games, 70. I don't know how many, 3 seasons. Okay, but my point is, you have Madueke who needs to develop, right? Go get someone with experience on that right side. Sign someone, spend the money, sign someone else. I don't know. I don't know who, bro. Am I a scout? Am I a scout? Go sign someone like Bowen. Okay, go sign someone like Bowen.
I just speak the truth in a world full of lies.
Sign someone like Bowen, bro. When Madueke can exchange, Bowen can play different positions. So Madueke doesn't have to. You want to put the pressure of Chelsea Football Club.
I agree with you.
On 22 years old. Olise is a fantastic footballer. Amazing, right? There is the young and there is the young. Do you know how many games Bukayo Saka have? Over 200 games. That's what I call the young. That's the young that Mourinho is talking about. At 22 years old with over 200 games for Arsenal. That's an experienced 22 years old. Still, Olise is not there yet. I believe Olise is a fantastic player. And I believe
he's got about 150. He's got about 150
in the Premier League, in
no,
the top flight.
no. He's between going at Reading and Crystal
Yes.
Palace. So in his professional career, so I think it's Championship and Premier League, about 150 appearances, which is still quite considerable. 88 games he's had. Look, I get where you're coming from. They need more than Olise, but Olise as a signing, I do think would be amazing for Chelsea. I think Madueke has shown a lot of promise in the last few weeks in terms of adding that output to his game. But Chelsea can't stand on ceremony and watch the parade go by. If someone like Olise is available, you put him into your squad. Now, I know that between Madueke and Olise, you could go, right, okay, well, we could play one on the left and one on the right. They're both flexible in that regard. But even if they're competing with one another for that right-hand berth, that's a good thing. You all know me. I don't believe in this. What about the pathway of this player or that individual? Well, getting competition is going to show us whether you're good enough. Some players are great when they don't have competition. They get competition and they sort of shrink a little bit. And you need to test those types of things to really test somebody's minerals, as it were. But I think it would be an excellent signing in my opinion. I'm just not too sure about the story in itself, whether or not Crystal Palace would take Raheem Sterling. Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe he needs a Crystal Palace level club now.
Speaking of Crystal Palace, you know who's Crystal Palace level? Madueke. Can we stop acting like this guy's a good player, please? Can we stop? It's actually embarrassing.
Don, come and get your boy. Don, come and get your boy.
Madueke's not a bad player, though, is he?
Yeah, he's a dribbler. Jogo Bonito. Who gives a shit? How many dribblers can I find around the world? 500 million. Like, it's just, let's not do that. I could go down the street in Jordan right now, invite Terry and scout 15 young kids whose dribbling is good, like, and just take them to the Premier League, bro. Come on, man. We were really acting like Madueke is a good player, bro. He's not.
He is a good player, yeah.
No,
what is wrong with you, bro?
No, he isn't. Listen, you use the example of Bowen. You use the example of Bowen. Bowen is a good example, Mo. I agree with you. If you tell me don't sign Olise, sign Bowen, yes. But that's not
years
the Chelsea
old.
style. One second, but that's not the Chelsea style. Their style is don't sign Olise, sign another kid. That's their style. So it's worse. You get it?
Yeah, but I get you. But for you to call Madueke not a good player at the age of 22 when he has shown signs in the England under 21, in the England under, he hasn't played enough for you to sit here and judge him. Why do you judge him like this?
Oh, he hasn't played enough. That's interesting.
Yes, he hasn't. Okay, so how do you judge him then? Can you explain to the people?
I mean, he's only
he's played in his career, though. I will phrase that to be fair.
League games.
Yeah, I mean, he's played 43 games for Chelsea and he played 80 games for PSV Eindhoven. So when you compare that to Olise as an example, let me just add the games up here.
And Hussam watched them at PSV. Yeah, we know that. Hussam, I know that you watch
a lot of the 88 plus 73, 161 top flight, well, not top flight, but professional men's games for Olise. And for Madueke, it's 80 plus 43, so 123. So there is a little difference. There are around basically a season, you would say, difference in experience between the two. But if you were asking me now, Man United, you can have either one. You can have Madueke or you can have Olise. I would go for Olise. I would go for Olise over him.
100%. Nobody's arguing that.
Yeah, but I think having both in your squad, I'm not saying they shouldn't buy other experienced players, but I think adding Olise is not the end of the world. I don't think how often has Olise played on the left-hand side? He hasn't really in his career either. That's the only issue I would say, is he can go centrally, but neither, only according to transfermarket.co.uk, neither have at any real time on that left-hand side. That would be my only concern. It's actually, there's not 8 games, it says here, that Olise has played on the left-hand side. I'm just looking for Madueke in his career as well.
Can I ask you a question?
So having both on the same side, I'm not saying it isn't good to have the competition, but that's the only element, is one of them is starting over the other. And I don't think you're going to drop 60-odd million and give Raheem Sterling for a player that's going to hold the bench to begin with.
Hussam, can I ask you a question before we move on from Chelsea and stuff? What do you think Madueke's ceiling is? Is it Callum Hudson-Odoi, for example? Is that what you think? I really want to know.
Madueke's ceiling,
or Elanga? Is that where you think? Okay, Madueke, if he stays at Chelsea and play regularly, where do you think he can go?
Madueke's
Serge
ceiling is
Gnabry or Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Madueke's ceiling is like Ashley Young at Aston Villa. That's the maximum I see him reaching.
Really?
Yeah, Ashley Young at Aston
Ashley
Villa.
Young at Aston Villa. That's what you see.
Yeah, he's Luis Diaz from Wish. That's Madueke. Dribble, 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 dribble. That's it. Nothing new.
All right, then. You guys, you Chelsea fans need to sign a petition for your board to sell Madueke tomorrow because he
I'd
isn't
sell
getting
him if I was
anywhere.
Who did you say? What did you say, Sam? You said he's who from Wish?
Diaz from Wish.
Timo, you know Timo? When you order Lewis Timo.
Yeah, I know what it, I know what Wish is. I just didn't hear the
Timo,
player that you said before. I think that there is talent in that young man. There certainly is, but they can't stand on ceremony. Interestingly for Chelsea as well, there's another story that's gone around today about potential FFP problems if they make it in to Europe. Have you guys read that article?
Can you explain it, please?
Yes, I'm just going to try and get it back up in front of me because it was on my screen.
People know, because if we talk, we'll be accused of being haters.
hater.
And we hate the club. We are just haters and we're jealous. And can you explain it to the Chelsea fans?
I just got a DM, by the way, from a Chelsea fan. He's saying, bro, by the way, don't expose my name. But he said, bro, you're cooking. Madueke is a bum. I know.
Don't expose my name.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't want to get cooked. But
this is what the on the FFP stuff. I mean, I just want to book time.
Chelsea fans hear this because you're gonna fall on your face now.
Well, it says here that Chelsea are likely to face an uphill battle to comply with UEFA's financial rules if they qualify for any European competition next year. This is from the Times, by the way. It says UEFA's rule on the amount of money a club can lose are more restrictive than the Premier League, and the European body closed a loophole around long-term player contracts, which has been used by Chelsea earlier on. So losses due to those length of contracts, etc., they will not take it into consideration. Chelsea's financial losses may be a concern for the club, whilst Aston Villa, who are already guaranteed a spot in Europe next season, may also face concerns. Villa insist, however, that they are complying with the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. They're also they're probably going to get Champions League money, which is a lot higher. There is also uncertainty over the £76 million value of the sale of the assets of the hotels between each other, and this is still under investigation. It is considerable together that the Premier League maximum permitted losses is 105. Chelsea are at risk of breaching that. And of course, UEFA's new rules come in that say a club can no longer spend more than 70% of its turnover on player expenditure, which includes salaries. And the graphic that comes with this is that Chelsea are currently 152% over the limit that UEFA has put in place. So with their potential losses, the hotel situation, and their current expenditure being very, very high indeed, that they may actually essentially face being banned from Europe if they qualify for it. Is this something you think Chelsea fans should be concerned about at all?
Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we talked about. Buy. Give me this player. Give me that player. Sign 50,000. We're very good in sales. By the way, Mo, we sell very well. We are very good in sales and we are absolutely run amazing. Bro, the project is failing, bro. Imagine if you qualify to Europe and you can't play in Europe. Do you know what that means? The money is gone. The money that you get from broadcasting in Europe is gone. We said that many times. The people that run this youth project isn't working. You need to get rid of some of them. Yeah, Clown Lake, whatever you want to call it. Clown Lake or Clear Lake or whatever. Bro, Chelsea fans aren't worried, and you should be worried. Chelsea fans, we said that many times. You should be worried. You literally should be worried. We don't want to play Europe. We don't want to play Europe. We only want Champions League. You might not be able to play in Europe. You pay a lot of money, and when we call the players that go to your club that they go for the money, it's now. It's everybody now with 8-year contract. Their future is safe now. How are you going to sell these players? How are you going to? Oh, here you go. Someone is already like Chelsea fans. I know what Chelsea fans are doing. You guys are doing what makes you sleep well at night. You know what I mean? Every time someone says anything about the club, you turn aside. That's not true. It's not true. I don't want to believe that. It's old. It's not good. as you don't want to see the truth.
Well, I mean, the article came out today, the 8th of May, in the Times, and obviously there was similar conversations that happened when you were in the Carabao Cup final. And I mean, it's there. It's you've got to remember, this isn't just on Chelsea. One of the big Man United financial accounts has shown that if Man United do not make Europe at all next season, we can spend £100 million more on our rebuild than if we're in Europe, because you can lose more money if you're not in Europe than when you're in Europe. So this isn't sort of unique to Chelsea. This is normal. I think if Aston Villa miss out on top 4 with their FFP limits, if they only got the Europa League, they might find themselves in a situation where they're not complying. Champions League money is probably going to make them be okay. When it comes to Chelsea, I think Chelsea will just about be okay this time around. I think they'll get the hotels approved. I don't know why it's taken 10 months, but I think they'll get it approved. And that's not on. It's not on Chelsea why it's taken so long. It's on the Premier League. The Premier League's delayed it. Chelsea have.
You know how crazy it is to have a football club with a hotel,
bro. You don't know. We're laughing because it's crazy that it's 2024 and Chelsea fans are begging the Premier League to accept a hotel sale to a sister company, which is basically the same company to save your club.
Yeah,
and then we are supposed to sit here and clap for your guys that run the club. That you want to save the club by selling, basically you want to sell the hotel to your cousin or your sister company, right, to save your club. And we're supposed to sit here and clap for your owners because they signed Raheem Sterling and Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo and Lavia. Come on, give me a break.
So I understand. But I think they'll go through. And what's really important is the football keeps improving. I think if between now and this time next year, Chelsea keep getting better at football on the pitch, I think they'll be okay. The only time I'd keep an eye on the finances if I was a Chelsea fan, but with the football looking like it's improving, there is green shoots of hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. If, however, this spike in form is merely down to the pressure being off because they thought the season was over, other teams being on the beach or being worse than them, and they start next season poorly, they don't have a great summer, they don't get the experience that they want, but they still spend big money, that's when you've got to start to worry about the overarching situation. So I think these articles from the Times, look, that I think that, I know they're hard for Chelsea fans to read. The same as I don't like reading bad articles about Man United, but I think they're important to look at. So at the very least, you understand where you're at. It's often the other way around for Man United. I always get told every year, you've only got 100 million to spend, Terry. Well, we spend nearly 150 to 250 million every year, like recent times. Like, what are you talking about? It's important to read the detail, but we'll see what happens with that. Chelsea fans, let us know your thoughts and your feelings below.